Well, hello everyone. Welcome all and sundry to ASC Astrology. I am your host, Blue Yasmin, and I am here to talk all things astrology. And before I start, I just want to mention that today is the first ever video to be released on YouTube by ASC Astrology, and I am super duper excited. I am a little bit nervous, or should I say I am a lot nervous, and I'm so pleased to be here. I'm really, really happy and excited to be here. So I also have to say that this video, and probably videos in the future, is I'm going to do it off the cuff. I am not going to be editing this video, and so you have to forgive me if I digress or if I ramble on a bit, or if I make a few blunders here and there. But hey, we are all human, so please be gentle with me. I'm bound to make some mistakes, but what the hell. I know I'm going to have fun, and I hope you have fun listening to this video also. So, to the conjunction. What an amazing day to actually release the first ever video by ASC Astrology on this extremely special day that I believe should be a day of celebration or a week of celebration. This is a day of the conjunction of two of the most benevolent planets, and of course I'm talking about the one and only, or should I say the two and only, the most beautiful, gorgeous Venus, and the most optimistic and the most joyous Jupiter. And these two have come together in conjunction at 13 degrees today on the 11th of August 2025, and it is in conjunction. They are having a bit of a smooch up above the astrological celestial sphere of ours, and they are both in conjunction in Cancer. And so what is this revealing to us? How do these two planets want to express themselves through us as it filters through the traits of Cancer? Well, Cancer, as you may know, is feminine, like Venus, yin of energy and nature, just like Venus. It holds the badge of honor of the mother, and it is the symbol of the emotions that move. They ebb and flow like the ruler of Cancer, the moon. The emotions ebb and flow as the moon goes through its phases. Cancer is known as the most sensitive sign, and it is also known as one of the most intuitional signs also. Being the symbol of the mother and the home, and also emotions, Cancer wants to protect like the mother. It wants to nurture like the mother. It wants to comfort the emotions, and it wants to bring the emotions to a place of safety, to a place of security and comfort, and also in a place of healing. And then we have Venus, which is also about the emotions. But with Venus, the difference is with the emotions is that Venus wants to put value. It wants to put a sense of worth to what it is feeling. What is this feeling worth? What is the value with this emotion? And can we put wealth on this emotion? Can we put, and I'm not talking about that physical money wealth, it is that how much of this emotion can I invest to others? Because Venus is all about relating to others. It is related to others and the world around us, and it wants to express through the senses that we have. It wants to express through the five senses, and it wants to experience the emotions through the senses. You cannot experience an emotion without the senses. Our memories are made up of our emotions, and the foundation of our emotion is filtered into the emotions through the five senses as we sense ourselves around the world. With our eyes, with our feelings, with our ears, with our smell, with our taste. Did I leave one out? Vision, smell, taste, and feeling and hearing. Yay! So how Venus wants to experience through the senses is with harmony. So Venus is all about enjoying the senses through the eyes, through the vision. That's why Venus is connected to colours, connected to art, connected to design, and it also wants to enjoy through the senses of listening. And that's why Venus is connected to music. And you know, if you listen to music that's slightly out of tune or out of harmony, it is quite painful, isn't it? And that is because Venus is constantly trying to find some harmony and balance as we experience through the senses. And of course, Venus is all about perfume and aromatherapy, because it wants to have that feeling of sensuality through the sense of smell, and also smelling of food, tasting of food, the other sense, the taste. And again, this is why Venus is connected to food, but not in that nourishing sense. That's Cancer. Cancer is about body and comforting the emotions through food. And of course, the moon, the ruling planet, is the belly. The moon is the belly. But Venus wants to find pleasure. It wants to desire. And so it is all about finding pleasure through the senses. It's finding pleasure through taste. And then the food with Venus is all about the enjoyment of food. But do be careful, because Jupiter is embracing Venus at the moment, and that has a couple of pitfalls that I will go through in a minute. So with Venus in Cancer, this is going to make Venus very vulnerable, and it wants to have that experience of soft, deep, gentle, but very deep, should I say, emotions, but also that deep, intimate experience or experiences. And it wants to share that. And it wants to express it, and it wants to feel it. It wants to have it impressed. It wants to express it, and it wants to do it creatively and sensually with harmony. And so then you have Jupiter in Cancer in conjunction with Venus, and Jupiter in Cancer, it exalts in Cancer. But what's so wonderful about this Jupiter being in Cancer this time round is that it's double whammy exaltation. And the reason for that is because back in I think it was June the 24th, it cazimied with the Sun as the Sun came into Cancer, and it cazimied. And cazimied basically means when a planet goes to it conjuncts exactly to the degree, to the minute, to the second with another planet, and the planet is just bathed in that pure light and dances with that pure fiery spirit, and it is just cleansed and reborn. But before it does that, and as it gets closer to the Sun, or the Sun gets closer to the planet dies. So Jupiter went through a process of dying. It became weak, it withered away, it burnt away as it got closer to the Sun, and then finally was reborn as it cazimied with the Sun, only to be born again a few days later. Around about 3 days later, it turned into the morning star, reborn, reincarnated, regenerated, rejuvenated, re-energized, and now is rejoicing in Cancer. And when a planet does cazimi with the Sun in its sign of exaltation, there is this protection and purity about its virtues. So the virtues of Jupiter, I mean, Jupiter is honorable, it is joyous, it's faith, it is of exploration and optimism, and these are just exalted even more after the Cazimi. So this is so beautiful, and it doesn't end there. I will go deeper into why this is mega, super duper gorgeous. So with Jupiter in conjunction at 13 degrees, tomorrow at 14 degrees, and will continue into conjunction as Venus slowly moves away from Venus. This will take it up to perhaps, depending on how you work the orbs, but it will take up to about 18, 19 degrees, like a 5-degree orb from 13 degrees. So with Jupiter in conjunction with Venus in Cancer, Venus, of course, is going to just expand the themes and the expression and the needs and the desires. And it is just going to blow it up. It's going to spread it. It's going to amplify it. And it wants to do it with a sense of exploration. It wants to do it with a sense of joy and optimism. So even though this sounds very vulnerable with Venus being in that sensitive Cancer and really opening up and wanting to go really deep with the emotions and be really, really intimate and really gentle and soft, Venus comes with that sense of optimism and joy. It wants us to explore our emotions through an intimate but optimistic and joyous process. Jupiter is all about exploring. So this is how these two planets in Cancer wants us to express ourselves and wants to experience this conjunction. And on top of that, what we have is the moon, which is the ruler of Cancer, that is in Pisces as I'm speaking, trining to the conjunction of Venus and Jupiter in Cancer. And so you have Pisces, which is expresses its emotions through the moon, and the moon needs to express through the compassion that Pisces is all about. It wants to do it with imagination and creativity, and it is never ending because it's Pisces. So Pisces has no borders with its compassion and love, and the love from Pisces is pure in nature. It is unconditional in nature. And so this expression of emotions and sharing of emotion is on a pure level and an unconditional level. And this is trining to the conjunction the moon is, and it is just an energy that is flowing magically without any of us trying. And what's so wonderful about this is that there are these mutual receptions and exaltations happening all over the place. So we have Jupiter in Cancer that is exalting, it's in its favorite sign in Cancer. And then we have Pisces, the moon in Pisces, where the moon is the ruler of Cancer, and then Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces. And then we have Venus that doesn't mind being in Cancer at all, has a few things in common with Cancer, and just expresses it differently. But it exalts, Venus exalts in Pisces. So you have all these wonderful mutual receptions and exaltations. It is super marvelous, and it just makes me want to bow down to this energy. And I have been feeling this build up for a few days now, and I am feeling this connection. This is Jupiter just making the whole thing bigger, and I have just been experiencing so much love with people that I don't even know, and it just feels so different but not strange. It feels familiar, and with the moon trining Cancer with the conjunction, it is going to make these wonderful connections with, you know, making groups with people, or finding friends, or finding new friends. Even if it lasts for 5 minutes, you're going to meet a person that you think, these people are my friends forever, and I may never see them again. And you may make some new connections that's going to help you with healing and for well-being, because Cancer is all about the health and healing the emotions and healing the body. So you may find that you're connecting with people around you, or new people that are going to help you through this journey of healing and through this journey towards well-being. Jupiter is just opening up the arms of Cancer, the crab of Cancer, and it is just, this arm is just expanding. And I'm going to go to that in a minute, because I don't want to forget about the moon in Pisces being the ruler of Cancer. The moon is all about the mother. It is about the ancestor, the roots, the memories, the inner child. And so the inner child within you, this is the time to express emotions and become intimate with your inner child, to recognize the inner child, to bring out the inner child and come face to face. And this is the time to share memories with your inner child. Come to a place where you can be happy with your inner child, and it's time to embrace your inner child. Bring it out. Bring your inner child out to laugh, play, and share this intimate time with your inner child. It's time to give it some love. It's time to make your inner child feel safe. This is a beautiful time to make your inner child feel safe, secure, and this is a time to heal your inner child. So please do that. This is one of the biggest things that it is asking while the moon is trining to Cancer. And so with Jupiter, also, you know, just amplifying everything and spreading everything, this is beyond just being loving and healing with who you know, with your family, with your blood family, with your chosen family. Cancer is the home. And so with Jupiter exalting in Cancer and expanding and amplifying everything, where Jupiter is saying, you've got to go beyond the home. You have got to go beyond your doorstep. You have got to go beyond your street. You've got to go further than your community, further than your town, and you've got to go beyond your country. You know, Cancer is all about patriotism as well, because it is patriotic, because your country, excuse me, is your home. But Jupiter is saying, no, we're not going to stop there. I want you all to embrace the bigger family, the family that you don't know, but the family that is still your true family, and not just blood family. These are the brothers and sisters around the world. Jupiter is opening up the crab arms and saying, this is the time to embrace the world. It is time to embrace your brothers and sisters. This is the time to send love and healing towards your brothers and sisters. And we know that, you know, there is continuously, but especially I think most of us are really feeling it, where we are really, because of social media, we are really aware of how much our brothers and sisters around the world are really suffering. There has been so much pain, so much loss, and, you know, people living in war-torn countries, so much suffering. And what this conjunction wants to do in Cancer with Jupiter, wanting to embrace the whole world, it wants to, and has this huge desire to really heal the world, heal our brothers and sisters, heal Mother Nature. And so this is, I think, in my opinion, the biggest expression of this conjunction. And so, you know, I know we are not the the conglomerates, we're not the authorities, we're not the politicians, we're not the churches, we're not the ones that make the rules, the regulations, we're not the ones that decide you know, about borders and, wars and so on. We are so far from, making decisions on how to progress as a huge collective. But we do have that responsibility. And even though we can't reach out directly to our brothers and sisters who are really suffering and who are living in fear, this is the time perhaps to do something that is within our realms to show some love or send some kind of message of faith, hope, and healing. Maybe this is the time where you've been looking at some kind of cause online and it's asking you to, sign a petition, and it's a cause to help our brothers and sisters. Maybe this is the day to sign the petition. Maybe you're one signature amongst the hundreds and thousands of signatures. This is the collective taking power. This is the collective sending a message to our brothers and sisters. Maybe this is the day to sign the petition. Maybe this is the day to be charitable. This is the day that you've been thinking about helping in a cause that you believe in that can reach out to the world. Be it animals, be it Mother Nature, be it our brothers and sisters. Excuse me. This is perhaps a day to be charitable. And if you can't afford to do that, perhaps, with the moon in Pisces and Venus feeling so vulnerable and romantic, this is a day to write beautiful messages, poems, beautiful notes, letters of love, messages of love, messages of healing. This is perhaps the day that you can put a beautiful message online. Send a message to your brothers and sisters. Send our message to our brothers and sisters, to the world, to Mother Nature, a message of hope, a message of healing, a message of putting faith back into humankind, knowing that we have a default to love and protect and comfort each other and bring ourselves into a place of safety where we can heal. So you could do that. You could perhaps, if you're not into that, just light a candle, send a message with your mind, meditate, say a prayer, whatever kind of prayer that can be, whatever kind of format of prayer. I'm not religious, but I do my form of praying. This is a day to perhaps just, with your mind, with thoughts, send a positive message to our brothers and sisters. Let's reach out. Let's embrace our brothers and sisters who really do need that help in healing and who really need to be in a place of safety and know that they are remembered by us and that we think of them and that we are sending messages of love to them. So, there is that trine with the moon in Pisces. However, we do go through, the moon does go into Aries, and this creates a square with Jupiter and Venus. And this is where, after being very vulnerable, very open, very intimate, and very sensitive, along comes moon in Aries, and it kind of flips everything on its back, because Venus is all about relating to others. Aries is all about, the self and initiating the physical, the sexual, and being independent rather than being, personally intimate and deep and sharing. And so this may cause some emotional, conflict or turmoil or confusion. But bear with it. We have to work through the squares because the squares helps us to progress through its challenges. And how you do that is to remember, keep remembering what this conjunction through Cancer is asking from us. To explore, to stay optimistic with our emotions, to stay vulnerable and open and honest, and to go through it with a sense of joy. And so bear that in mind as we go through the squares, because it then ends up with the moon going into Taurus, which Venus is also the ruler of. So again, this, you know, kind of reception going on, but the moon is in Taurus. So, you know, we have this sense of, or this power to, or this need and desire to ground ourselves. This is where we can ground our emotions. We can review our emotions, our experiences that we have gone through the last few days. And if it all felt quite too much and too intense, but we've gone through that work, we've gone through expressing this transition, this is the time where the moon wants to just ground emotionally, and it wants to do this through Mother Nature. This is where you take your sandals off, your socks off, your trainers off, you go on that grass, you ground yourself. You stand on the beach and feel the sand through the skin of your feet, and you feel the earth, because Taurus is all about the organic earth, and it is about the plants and the trees. And a way to ground your emotions is to ground yourself to the earth, go and smell the flowers, feel the grass, you know, look at the colors of the flowers and the leaves, stroke the leaves, and do some tree hugging. Yes, yes, you have to do some tree hugging. Promise me that you're going to hug a tree today. Promise me you're going to hug a tree when moon is in Taurus. And this is going to be on the 15th, 16th, as the transition starts parting, but there is still the conjunction going on. Do that. Hug a tree. You know, it doesn't matter if you feel foolish, because trust me, you know, if you really be intimate with your emotions, with, you know, while you're hugging a tree, you are going to really feel something so profound and deep. And I really think trees really do enjoy a hug from us, because as much as we need nature, I think, you know, and this may sound, you know, maybe too egotistical on the human side, but I do believe that we are truly all connected, and I'm sure that, you know, the plants like to be talked to. I know that from experience. You know, I have my joy in the garden, and I talk to the plants, and I know they're listening, and I know they're talking back in their own way, and, you know, I'm sure that the tree really does appreciate that human hug, as long as you are natural about it and it is really full of love. And so do that. Promise me you're going to do that. And on that note, I'm going to leave you with that, and I really hope you do enjoy this conjunction. Celebrate it. This is really the time to celebrate love, bring in that healing emotion, because that is what love is about. Love is about healing. Love is about, you know, that unconditional spiritual expression that makes humans, animals, the world be safe and secure. So do enjoy the conjunction. Be careful not to be gluttonous, because, you know, Venus with the food and Jupiter conjunction, this is going to make you want to enjoy your senses, and you may overdo it a bit, but enjoy. I know I am. I'm going to, after this video, I'm going to cook a nourishing but delicious meal. I'm going to buy myself some flowers today. I love buying myself flowers. And I am going to go outside and do a little bit of sunbathing and just soak in the greenness of all my beautiful plants that are growing in the garden. And I hope you find your own way of enjoying this conjunction. So I'm going to say goodbye, but before I do, please give us a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video, and do share this video, because today is a day of sharing, and so is tomorrow and the day after. So do share. I will really appreciate that. And subscribe if you have enjoyed this content, and press onto that notification button, because you know, when we release a new video, when I release a new video, you are going to get a little ding-a-ling-ling to say that a new video is released. And speaking of new videos, I'm going to release another new video, which is going to be mind-blowing. It is huge and it is magical. So do stay tuned. On the 13th, I'm going to release a an amazing, amazing video, or should I say it's amazing in information. So do stay tuned, and I will see you next time. Until then, a great big Cancerian crab heart. Do look after yourself and take care.